Welcome back to another Destiny 2 build video, I guess. We're not standing by the drifter, I wanted to change the scenery. And don't ask me why I'm in Marisol's bathtub. I guess I'm just hoping she shows up. Anyway, a decent while ago, I made a Warlock strand build that wasn't exactly optimal. It was with Monte Carlo and the Karnstein armlets. Just joke around, I guess, and have a bunch of survivability, but it was mainly an excuse to use the new catalyst on Monte Carlo that involved the bayonet. That's why I used it, because I just wanted an excuse to use the goddamn bayonet. I mean, who wouldn't? Monte Carlo has the biggest bayonet ever. This build is a bit more synergistic, and I hope you guys enjoy. Now let's get into it. You're gonna need Lightfall for this build, so bring out your credit card and buy the DLC, people. Woohoo! Or do it, or just don't, whatever. So the two assets we are running is the Wanderer, where we're not really going to be throwing our tangles, but you can throw them, and they attach to targets, and they suspend them. But you can also the second part, you can destroy a tangle and create a suspending burst. Now, this build is going to be all around generating tangles and threadlings. Just a quick FYI. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this damn aspect, but we want to run the shackle grenade so that when we hold to consume or eat the grenade, we activate Weaver's Trance, and while that is active, you generate a suspending detonation at your target's location when you kill them. Now, you're not going to get a lot out of this in some like a strike. I mean, you are, but like if you use it in some like onslaught, enemies so bunched up, you're going to get triggered quite a bit. Now, in terms of fragments, you can play around with these. Thread of Generation is pretty almost I wouldn't say necessity, but if you want to build into the shackle grenade part, use this to get more grenade energy. I didn't use Thread of Rebirth, where strand weapon final blows have a chance to create a threadling. With the build we're using, we don't actually need this. You want Thread of Wisdom, so that way you generate orbs of power when you kill something that is suspended. It's just more orbs of power going out. Now this is the combo I tried out and I loved, which is Thread of Warding and Transmutation. How we pronounce this. Where we're picking up Orb of Power, we're going to Orb of Mail, and when you have Orb of Mail, you create a tangle with Weapon Final Blow. So more tank. So kill a couple enemies with whatever it is, with our exotic weapon. Get Orb of Mail with the Orb of Power, generate more tangles with this, and then it's a repeat cycle. I mean, there are some others I did play around with. You can use Thread of Evolution, so that way Threadlings actually do damage and go further. Actually, I almost recommend using that over a Thread of Generation. But if you need more grenade energy or something, do use this, because this does have a 232 cooldown. So if you do feel like it's taking forever to come back, do use Thread of Generation. Other than that, there is not really any other aspects. We're not really going to be finishing our targets, so I don't want to use Thread of Finality. So yeah. For our exotic weapon, we're actually using the Wishkeeper exotic bow. Now there is another exotic you can use, which is the Final Warning. I use it because it's cute and adorable. Like, how do you not love this thing? This is the thing I would keep in a anime kitty cat display case because it is adorable. It is tiny. But I prefer using the bow. The Wishkeeper, which is the exotic bow from this season. Now, it has the exotic perk where it's called Snare Weaver. Ignore the 4. That's because I have it maxed out. But precision hits and kills generate energy towards a Snare Weaver trap, which creates this kind of like demonic pentagram looking thing on the ground. But it's a Snare Weaver trap that when enemies walk into it, they get suspended. And as from earlier, defeating suspended targets, orbs of power. Woven Mail generates tangles. Has a second perk where it deals more damage to suspended targets, which is you to kill your suspended target and do the cycle. But you also gain faster draw time after you suspend the target and damage one. When you spin the target from any source or damage to spin the target with this weapon. Now, the draw time is very significant, actually. It is a night and day difference between the draw time when you have this thing. Now, this is a craftable exotic bow, so it has a few perks you could choose for like a catalyst slot. It has 2 perks catered to the weapon for its Snare Weaver perk, where one makes the traps last longer and one allows it to suspend more targets. But I chose Hatchling Retrofit. It also has Vorpal Weapon, I'm pretty sure, but I chose Hatchling Retrofit. And that is because this allows you to get precision final blows and generate threadlings, which is very important for the build. Now, for your special, use whatever you feel like you need for your whatever you're doing. Like if you need like just more, I guess, ad clear. I mean, I guess put on a shotgun. I love running a shotgun sometimes, just to go blam blam and murder all the little red bars and be a shotgun ape on a warlock. Cause why not? I am a sniper whore when it comes to boss damage. You'll always see me using a sniper at any chance I get. Or use whatever special weapon you find catered to. Now, I recommend using a strand power weapon, so when you use like so that on our helmet, because we're going to be using strand siphon, that way you can, have a strand weapon to use this more. So I highly recommend one of the machine guns or the rockets, or even the cataphractic grenade launcher that comes with trials, but fuck that. The Mercado is arguably the best strand machine gun you can get with Demolicious Hatchling. Now, like I said, Demolicious, more grenades, more shackles, more Weaver's Trance, more suspending. Hatchling, just more threadlings. Now, if you don't have this one, I honestly recommend one with Attrition Orbs. I think people need to get this perk more of a try. I don't think it's not super powerful, but it's a lot more powerful than people think. I personally think, anyway. There are some other weapons you could use. You can use this weapon from last season. It is a strand rocket for your boss damage. So you see a big bad boss, you want to shoot rockets, and you want to shoot rockets at his balls, so go ahead. The laser painter is a linear fusion rifle that comes from Gambit. Gambit is the best game mode. Hate me, I don't care. If you need a linear fusion rifle for boss damage, whatever. There's also a Dragon Cult Sickle from the dungeon this season, which is the Warlord's Ruin. This is a good sword if you want to synergize into the strand and use a caster frame sword. So why not? The other machine gun you can get is the Circular Logic, which comes from Neomuna, from Terminal Overload. It comes from Terminal Overload on Neomuna, or Neptune over here in the Zephyr Concourse, when Terminal Overload is over here. However, the exotic legs we're using is the Swarmers. Now, Bungie, please add more class strand exotics, because it makes no sense why we only have one exotic for each class that is dedicated to strand. And the Warlocks have a helmet that gives them woven mail and ship. I think it's one is stupid. Anyway, this is where Threadwings, destroying a tangle spawns a Threadwing. Your Threadwings unravel targets that they damage, so there's more damage to the targets out there. Again, we are using at least use strand siphon on your helmet. The rest is kind of up. Do you recommend a heavy ammo finder or special, whatever you feel like necessary? Don't use this because we're not getting kills with our grenades. Pretty useless. Hands-on, now the Warlock mainly is pretty good. So you can actually replace one of these aspects with Thread of whatever that is, where powered melee final blows give your strand weapons unraveling rounds. So if you want to pair it with that, that would actually not be the worst idea. Not something I recommend doing, though, unless you want to really kind of build into something. Because also, I'm pretty sure this thing does unravel targets. So if you do want to do it that way, go right ahead. Wouldn't be the worst idea. And then you'll get more super energy that way, too. On your irons, Pyros, run whatever comfortable. I like running Font of Focus for more grenade energy. When we get our armor charges. You need to have it handed if you want to go for that melee tactic. I recommend a bunch of discipline as well, so you have more grenades you can snack on during the fight. Your chest piece, our pretty much is running our strand reserves to have more reserves for our weapons or whatever reserve you feel like you need the most. Charge up can also be pretty good if you need more charger life stacks, or put on stuff with damage resistance if you need damage resistance. Now for your bond, we're just running either 3 times whatever this is, so our armor charges don't last a lot longer, or you can use replace one of them with powerful attraction, so that you can pop down your rift and grab all of your orbs of power within the area, which is pretty fun to do. You can also put one of Font of Restoration, which is nice. So yeah, that is the build. I know I kind of rushed speaking about it, and I know I'm not great at explaining it, but I hope you guys get the general functionality of the build. It is generating threadlings and generating tangles, and just repeating the whole cycle to generate threadlings and what's the other thing? Tangles to suspend targets and steal much damage everywhere. So yeah, if you guys are curious about the Warlock clothing or drip, this is everything I use on my Warlock to make this look. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, greatly appreciate it. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one for the gameplay, my opinions, tips that are hopefully helpful, and a general gameplay you guys probably don't care about. Yeah, peace out. So I'm Chelsea, and yeah, I love you all. Goodbye.